Hiya Hinsters, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome too. It's been a long time since I made a video, and it's currently the full moon lunar eclipse in Aries as I film. So I'm feeling a bit frazzled this week, but I might pop back on after this video. So stay tuned if you're interested in the full moon. But this here video today is the secrets of the third house. So yes, welcome back to the much delayed series of the secrets of the houses, and we are now on to the third house of the birth chart. Do check out the last video that I made on the secrets of the second house, and please do give this video a thumbs up if it was useful for you or interesting to you, and subscribe if you like what I do. I've also just started a TikTok, yes, at Hinny High, and my goal over there is to go live 3 times a week, and I'm kind of doing tarot and astrology readings over there live. So go give me a follow if you're also on TikTok, and let's be friends. Okay, to the houses then. So what are the houses? In order to know the houses of our specific birth chart, we need to know the rising sign or the ascendant sign. And the birth chart is divided also into 12 different houses, kicked off by the house where this rising or ascendant sign is located, that being in the first house, and then going counterclockwise through the other 11 houses and signs. Now, I use the whole sign system of birth charts, so there will always be exactly one sign in each house, and each house contains a set of themes. In natal astrology, having a planet in a house means that one or more of the themes of that particular house are more emphasized or significant in the native's life. For example, it's Libra season now, so let's pick Libra. If you're a Libra, the sun is always going to be in the house where you have Libra, and the sun will always be relevant to your particular Libra house. But again, you can only know which is your Libra house by first knowing your rising sign and calculating the houses accordingly. Now, in transit astrology, different to natal astrology, this is when a planet is moving through a given house in real time, and one or more of the themes of that house may be activated or amplified for the native. This is especially true if the houses are angular, meaning the first or the fourth or the seventh or the 10th houses. Even in the case of empty houses in natal astrology, themes of empty houses can still be relevant, or they can become relevant to us if and when a planet transits these empty houses in real time. Now, the ruler of the house is also very important. Let's stick with the Libra example. So Libra is ruled by Venus. And so Venus is the ruler of our Libra house. She's also the ruler, by the way, of our Taurus house. And we would look then to our birth chart and see where Venus is. And this gives us clues about how she is feeding into or speaking to the themes of our Libra house. And we would also check her condition. So is she, for example, exalted in Pisces? That's her Disneyland sign. She loves to be there even more than Libra or Taurus. Is she in her fall in Virgo? Is she in her detriment in Aries or Scorpio? Is she in her joy in the 5th house? Are there any aspects being made between her and other planets in the birth chart? And this information helps us to see how well, can you tell I've had a lot of coffee, to see how well Venus is able to host other planets transiting the Libra house. Now let's get into the 3rd house specifically, Now, the first secret of the third house is that this house pertains to siblings and friends and neighbors. And I've kind of bunged them all into this one secret for you. And I found over the years, now looking at birth charts, that people with 2 or more planets in the third house tend to have more siblings. Also, if the third house ruler is exalted, so in that Disneyland sign, like Venus and Pisces, then that produces lots of siblings as well. I like to think of this house as containing not the things that we possess as ours, but the things and people. Oh, wait. Yes, but the thing, I was jumping ahead there, but the things that are closest, close enough to us anyway. In terms of neighbors, then, having placements in the third house gives us a lot of kind of living with lots of different people and like being in a flat share or a co-op, and where not everyone is a friend necessarily, but are in very close proximity, as if siblings in the same household. The second secret kind for this house, it kind of expands on the first secret, and that is the theme of localities. So by locality, I'm talking not only about physical local spaces and places, but also digital localities. So digital or virtual localities, including things like forums and websites and social media platforms that we regularly browse and interact on. And it is also your neighborhood. This is the streets and the paths and the roads that you frequent on a daily or very regular basis. This is also the house of your surroundings, as in the environment around you and how you are or aren't affected by it. Having a planet or more here produces natives very sensitive to their surroundings. It produces highly observant people. It gives people who love to people watch. It gives social media lurkers and avid scrollers. And if the moon is here, for example, she is then in her joy in the third house, and the native will be quite likely highly receptive, or they will attract a lot of attention in their localities, or they will be the kind of person who doesn't miss a trick, or is like an excellent candidate for things like supervisory or surveillance roles. The third secret, then, of the third house is that this is the house of feminine divinities, especially if the native has planets here, in particular the moon or Mercury. The native will be very in touch with their surroundings and easily able to read synchronicities and signs around them. And this native sees kind of God in the trees. And this produces superstitious types. This gives people who are sensitive to omens, as well as people who are kind of more in touch with the serendipity of their everyday life. And these people can make their luck on the daily. Some people will be more likely favored by feminine divinities with this placement, especially if the moon or Venus are here. And third house natives or third house heavy natives also tend to have more passive ways of approaching things or looking at life. And they may be more holistic or advocate for fluid or open perceptions of things. And they may not feel too sure about anything, and that in life they could have this attitude basically that in life things are supposed to be unknown or mysterious, or there's supposed to be something unfinished. The fourth secret of the third house is the one of the that this house is one of the gate of Hades houses, and the other gate of Hades house then is the ninth house, its opposite. Hades, yes, being the hell or the underworld or the land of reversals. Kind of this is the realm of Pluto, and this house marks the stage before planets enter the fourth house, or the deepest and most mysterious house in our birth chart. And the planet goes to kind of die, quote unquote, in the fourth, and goes through various trials and tribulations through the fifth, sixth, and seventh houses before the planet reappears above the horizon and over the descendant being exactly opposite the ascendant or the rising, which I mentioned at the beginning. And it is now approaching the ninth house, which is, by the way, the joy of the sun. The joy of the moon, I said earlier, is the joy of the moon. The joy of the third house is, what the frig? The moon has her joy in the third house, okay? And the sun has his joy in the ninth house. That's what I wanted to say. It's been a very frazzling day. I had to deal today with two boys in my class who were like physically fighting, and I had to take them to the vice principal today. It's the first time I ever had to do this, but they were off the charts. So excuse me. Full moon in Aries too. Lunar eclipse too. Let's rewind anyway then to the third house, shall we? And here we are helping people, even ourselves, through long, bizarre transitions. And more generally, the third house involves a lot of transitory relationships or temporary friendships. It could also be like ephemeral meetings, very much being a key part or theme of this person's life. And natives with one or more planets here might also be involved in education or work that helps others with initial steps. So for example, language teacher or an emergency line operator or a receptionist or a doorman, something like that, someone like that. And these Hades houses, the third and the ninth houses, they deal a lot with ferrying and kind of ushering people in and out or through things. The fifth secret of the third house is women. Yes, women. And this also connects sometimes to zero number one things in that a native who is third house heavy or has Venus or the moon here will have a lot of female or feminine things. More broadly, third house heavy people will get on more with women or attract more women and benefit more from relationships with women. Now, the sixth secret of the third house is that it's classification and relation to others. So this is not because the third house is I don't practice this equivalence of houses with the signs, but actually because the third house sextiles the ascendant or the rising sign, and therefore the first house, and the first house is all about me. And of course, the third house being all about the people around me, sextile also being a Venusian aspect, which represents the perfected result of conditions being met. Whether these are good or bad conditions, all of this brings stuff like communication and relating with others in multiple ways. And in short, this is, yes, how we speak or how we are heard or how we engage. And it's, for example, if you have a feminine sign like Virgo or Cancer here in the third house, it may make you more of a kind of shy or soft communicator. Or, for example, having Venus here produces someone softly spoken, or the moon here produces someone very attentive in their relationships. The seventh secret then of the third house is routines. And we talked earlier about localities, and this is the last secret. We talked earlier about localities, and now we have the actual things carried out in these localities. Routines. Now, people with planets in the third house, generally, they are going to be more of the busybody types, or they're going to be kind of errand masters, and their life benefits most, I would say, or blossoms when they tap into their core routines and they keep repeating these things daily or regularly, and they have things down like a square. If you know tarot, you've seen the Four of Pentacles in traditional tarot, like Four of Pentacles, having it down, having it tied, having it tight. These third house heavy people benefit the most when things are as tight as they can be, and it's like a small number of very core set routines. And this is especially true if the moon is here. She is the goddess of the tides, but also Venus, who is the goddess of routines and circles and rituals. And if Mercury is here, it is most likely going to make someone very busy with their hands, like always on their feet, perhaps, always zipping around this and that stop, or like hiking up and down here and there, or they are always spotted walking the dogs or ferrying the kids back and forth. And it's kind of the house also of the busy working mother. And I want to stop here with this video, so I will end with that. This can be the busy working mother placement as well. I shall see you in the next one, maybe in a full moon Aries lunar eclipse video. And I hope you are doing well. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any third house native planets, or if you are going through a third house transit, and let's talk about it. Bye-bye. Love you. Take care.